Ice Spice 50th on
That's
New York
just
rappers.
nuts.
Like she was 50th all time.
New York rappers.
She was 50th the greatest New York rappers of all time.
That's
on
crazy.
Complex.
They use Snoop talking about pretty much
bad about somebody.
Talking bad about the WAP song, essentially.
Yeah.
So it was him saying that, and then they were using his own stuff against him. You know what I'm saying? So at least that didn't happen
my
to
one
us.
criticism of this, and this is something I brought up whenever these conversations come up about how, you know, basically men act in hip hop as far as like the content, not as far as what happens in the actual offices and, you know, the exploitation and not taking women seriously as executives, because I understand that's a real thing and it's a problem still. But as someone who's been, you know, outside for the better part of 2 decades, even more at this point, you know, these records that are exploitive and demeaning towards women only work because women like them.
Exactly.
And, you know, that might be controversial to say, because I remember when the whole tip drill thing came out and it was like, men need to stop playing these songs and and stop making these songs. And no one wants to put the onus on women to stop dancing to these songs.
We were definitely outside and got a clear-cut view as to how that song rang off.
You know, and so now it's at a point where that's almost like the secret formula to where, you know what, we'll just skip the middleman and having men be remarkably disrespectful. In a way, we'll just go ahead and disrespect ourselves and make that the chorus of the song. Right. And the women will have the same reaction. You know, I've always said if women control the culture of what happens in these spaces. If women said, okay, we don't want to be disrespected, we don't want to hear any of this nasty stuff, bees ain't ish, whatever. Like, because I remember when that song would ring off and women would be out there on the dance floor when you know, when Snoop and Dre did that record.
True.
That women did not walk off the dance floor when that would come on.
This filth.
Yeah. And so, like, you can say, oh, these men are irresponsible, it's disrespectful to women. It's only disrespectful to women because that's what women respond to. Because if women responded to what Rhapsody was doing, we'd play Rhapsody in the club. Everybody talks about how much
crazy.
All these women talk about, oh, we love Rhapsody, this and that. No, you don't. Because when I went to go see Rhapsody, you know who it was? It was white people and dudes. Yeah. It wasn't a bunch of black women in there. But I guess guarantee when Sexy Red come to town.
Oh. Talking about that brown thing.
Yeah, and so that's going to be a situation. So, or even when it's the baby or any male artist who's over here talking real disrespectful and crazy, you couldn't keep women out of there.
What's the saying goes? Sex sells. So now they just took the ball back, put it in their court. True. Because honestly, right now, women are kind of on the top of hip hop, but it's like they're all using the same formula. And I know we get backlash for saying that, but it's the absolute truth. Every top female artist right now is using the exact same formula, exact same content behind different bars, different beats, and a different voice.
Look, man, you can't fight capitalist exploitation with capitalism. No matter what it is. It doesn't matter who's getting exploited. If somebody else runs into that rule of women are controlling it, it's still exploitation. It's just people don't pay attention to that aspect of it. It's just what it is.
You know, so I mean, like I said, when you talk to DJs, you know, they would rather not play these records. I'm talking about the male DJs. You know, they would. You've
heard some.
They would rather play the hip hop that they like. When most DJs,
they don't want to hear that though.
Yeah, but you know, when you're in these spaces, in the business I'm in, basically my whole thing is to make sure that black women 21 to say 31 enjoy themselves in certain spaces. Right. Okay. We make sure that we have the drinks that they like. We play the songs that they like. We have the lighting profile that, you know, is most conducive to them feeling safe. Yeah. You know, and if they didn't want to hear these records, we wouldn't play them. I'll take even further behind the curtain. When I was working in commercial radio for Clear Channel, which is now iHeart, I always got to specify that. I remember sitting down with the operations manager. The operations manager is basically the person who's above the program director of your local radio station. Sometimes he is the program director, except he's programming more than one station. They have all these charts and graphs and everything about, you know, the songs that are coming in and how they're researching. Because once again, it's not about feel, it's about research, because it's about what you can sell. And
analytics.
Yeah, and analytics. And it's broken up by men and women. Okay. I'll never forget this. He took all the analytics that had to do with men's likes and dislikes, but was researching. Basura. And he threw it away. Basically dropped it in the trash can. everything that you hear on the radio is based on almost basically 95, if not 99%, is based on the likes and dislikes of women. So when you hear a song, be like, "Ooh, why are they playing that nasty song? That's terrible." It's because women like it.
Let me ask you this question. I got an interesting take on this then. If men are in the position of power in this aspect, let's say the clubs, and let's say Clear Channel and the radio, what if men just forced the other music, didn't play that other stuff at all? Even though
researched well,
yes,
they'd be looking for jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the thing is, there's a burden on men to perform and make sure they keep that money rolling in. Once again, we talk about capitalism.
I think it will be.
It doesn't matter what those men like because, the research tells them this is what the ladies like.
So where does it start then?
I'm going to go ahead and put the responsibility on the women. Ladies, if you are really, truly offended, you want this tide of disrespectful, nasty music to stop, you got to start walking off the dance floor.
It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
So until you start
R.
walking,
Kelly is still getting played.
Until you start, exactly. Until you, and it's women out there dancing. And so if you hear something that's so nasty and so foul and so disrespectful, but you like, when you put your drink down and be like, girl, let's get to the dance floor.
It's not going to happen.
I'm sorry, but like, you cannot ask men to go against their own financial interests when they have the burden of performance to make sure they stay employed.
There's grown women right now that if a Too Short song comes on, they going to sing it word for word. And be all the way with it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
When you could be in a room full of women and yell, "What's my favorite word?"
And they're going to
say exactly what they need to say.
They're going to say it. But, I mean.
So,
mind you, people are having a good time. Okay. And because, but to a certain extent, if you want a certain kind of change to happen, you gotta put your part, you got to take your party hat off and decide, okay, if we're not going to do this anymore, we have to be dedicated to it.
So there's no responsibility on the people playing the music and all this stuff to play "Milk This Cow" by Capadonna or anything like that.
Why do you always bring up that record?
I can't wait. That's what I've been waiting on.
I don't even know what this song sounds like. It was my kid.
Yeah, I want you. Please play "Milk This Cow" like 1:30 in the morning.
No, that doesn't work in any setting, though.
Let's take "Milk This Cow." Let's take "Milk This Cow."
Yeah, we can use "Milk This Cow" for the example.
Okay,
but seriously though,
we ain't gonna want to hear that in the club.
It doesn't matter what the song is. My point is like, is there any responsibility on the purveyors of power, or is it all on? Or are you saying that the women have pretty much the power in this aspect? They just don't necessarily realize they do, or is it just one of those things where it's just like a catch-22 to where
you do what the market will bear? And at this point, like, I would love, like, at the very, like, basically at the end, at the beginning of the night before anybody gets to my certain establishment, everybody has to listen to some Killer Mike. But it just doesn't work as good as I think the songs are. As good as the songs are.
Yeah, don't say I think. Yeah, those
as
are
good
songs.
As the songs are. Even the song that he got from DJ Paul.
Yes.
Yeah.
We tried to sneak that one in, but it just doesn't. It doesn't work.
It's not nasty
women
enough.
don't like it.
Not nasty
enough. Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, men, we're always going to do what we can to impress women, or pretty much stomach what they like because you want them around. You don't want to walk into a spot just full of dudes all the time. That's just not how it works. You want them to feel comfortable, and you pretty much appease to them most of the time, and you sprinkle in a little bit of what you like on top of that.
Right.
Because, I mean, that's just a quality of a man that, chasing a woman. Not even necessarily chasing a woman, but that's just one of the qualities we possess, the dynamic of it. You know what I'm saying? So with them liking the vulgar music from the women, is just somebody that looks like them is saying it now. So that's the reason why it's so popular, and it's going to continue to be popular. And they're still not going to care about the socially conscious rap because they didn't care about it when the men were saying it. So of course they're not going to care about it when Rhapsody or Bahamadia or whoever else is talking about it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just one of them things.
Think about when you talk about Jay Moore's point about the power of women, right? Mm-hmm. Think about what we saw with the list that had Shorty Ice Spice 50th on
That's
New York
just
rappers.
Nuts.
Like she was 50th all time.
New York rappers.
She was 50th the greatest New York rappers of all time.
That's
on
crazy.
Complex.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
But
Yeah,
that
like
speaks
6 songs, and
but that
she's the
speaks to the
greatest.
power that you're talking
Well,
about.
yeah, because it's like
Now, granted, it's complex. Now we know. Come on now, we didn't chopped up many of their lists, but when I saw that, I said, "You have got to, you got to be kidding me."
And people say that we do clickbait.
Come on, man.
Bro, yeah, we the clickbait people now.
This is that we put a face behind it, and you can see it come out of our mouths in real time.
Yeah.
So
and we actually mean what we say.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
The boardroom, we can't see the boardroom people that put these trash lists together, right?
That's a different subject. Not really, but kind of.
Yeah, you're gonna give the
but
50th
yes.
greatest New York rapper to somebody that doesn't. I mean, who has like maybe like an EP.
moment music, man, and
Yeah.
it like 10 years from now, she will not be mentioned on that list.
That's just where we are, man. I mean, like I said, I appreciate what I've watched so far. Other than the fact that we've been,
It was a good show.
We were
Yeah, it's a good show.
misquoted, and I
Very
think
good show.
We should have gotten properly credited for our work, which they used in their work. But when they go into how disrespectful these male artists and like I said, I came in here and kicked NWA's back in for some of the things that they said.
And I
so
disagreed.
You weren't on the show.
I know.
You weren't on this show.
I disagreed from afar.
The things that I said, you can't agree with.
Yeah.
The examples I gave, you can't agree with. But like I said, when you talk about the disrespect, that it's almost like women will say, well, this is empowering for us now. And so, the argument I'll make, so you're empowered by acting like the men who have been disrespectful to you all this time, and now you're taking,
or who took your power.
Like I said, but I think it's different. Where you're like now saying we can be just as nasty as these men who we think are terrible people, and it's like, is that really what you want to take from manhood? Is the worst part is the things you find most distasteful about how men act, and that's how you empower yourself. Mm-hmm. But once again, I'm probably getting into a place where I'm definitely gonna get women mad at me for even saying something like that out loud. But it is what it is, and like I said, I see how the culture moves in real time.
Well, in case you haven't been paying attention, we have been making a lot of people mad. So I guess
it's different when you make women mad.
Yeah, you're right.
It's different when you make women.
You're right. That's a different type of mad. I'm with you when you're right, but just so you know, there's thousands of grown men that are mad at us right now. Y'all hang in there though.
Women, go ahead. You know what? If you want to be like men, go ahead and join in and be mad at us too.
Yeah, just like and subscribe. Though. That's all I'm saying.
Go back into character.